Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and my kitchen. Today, I've got an incredibly delicious, layered lasagna recipe for you. Let's get straight to the recipe. I'm starting by preparing the meat sauce. For this, I'm heating about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil and then adding 2 finely chopped onions. I'm sautéing them until softened. They just need to soften and become translucent. At this point, I'm adding about 1 pound of ground meat. I'm using ground lamb, but feel free to use your favorite ground meat. Using ground meat with a medium amount of fat will give the best result. I'm slowly browning the meat. Once the meat has browned, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of tomato paste and 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper paste. Then I'm going to saute. Once the meat has browned, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of tomato paste. Soften and prepared very well. After sautéing until fragrant, I'm adding 2 peeled and finely diced tomatoes. I peeled the skins. I dice them small, then add them to the mix. The tomatoes I'm using are large. If you're using medium-sized tomatoes, 3 will be enough. At this stage, I'm adding a pinch of salt. I'm adding the tomatoes on top of the salt. After sautéing the tomatoes for a minute or two, I'm adding 2 cloves of garlic, minced by hand. I'm chopping the garlic small and adding those too. After adding the garlic, I'm adding my spices. Adjust the spices to your liking. I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I used. After adding the spices and giving it a quick stir, I'm adding 1 cups of hot water. I'm closing the lid. I'm closing the lid. I'm letting it simmer until some of the water has evaporated. Don't let it dry out completely. About 1/2 cup of liquid remaining will be perfect. Adjust to your liking. If you've watched the video this far, as always, I'd appreciate it if you leave a comment, a heart, an emoji, or any thoughts you have about the recipe. Please share them with me. Also, you can support me by sharing my videos with your loved ones. In this way, I close the lid. While the meat sauce is simmering, I'm preparing the béchamel sauce. I'm melting 2 tablespoons of butter, then adding 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm sautéing it for a bit. Then, I'm adding 2 cups of milk. The amount of milk needed may vary depending on the brand of flour. It just needs to thicken slightly and reach a creamy consistency. I'm sautéing the flour for 1-2 minutes. I'm adding about 2 cups of milk. I'm stirring constantly to prevent lumps from forming. Using a whisk at this stage will make it much easier. It's slowly starting to thicken. I'm not stopping the stirring. Once it starts to thicken, I'm adding a pinch of salt and pepper. You can use 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I prepared the béchamel sauce. Now I'm quickly assembling my lasagna. I'm spreading a ladleful of the meat sauce I prepared on the bottom of the baking dish. Then I'm adding the béchamel sauce, just dolloping it around as seen in the video. With the help of a spoon, I'm placing the lasagna noodles on top. Then I'm pouring on more of the meat sauce. After spreading it nicely with a spoon, I'm adding more béchamel sauce, again with a spoon. I'm pouring. I'm preparing it this way until the last layer of lasagna. In my videos, I try to share as many tips and tricks as possible for the recipes I make. But if you still have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I see it. I'll get back to you when I see it. Also, I'll add the full ingredient list with exact measurements in the description box below the video. Accurate notes. You can check it out there if you like. I'm placing the last layer of lasagna noodles. I'm pouring all the remaining meat sauce like this. Then, I'm pouring the remaining béchamel sauce on top. I'm going to use cheddar cheese on top. You know if you want to use it. After grating about 5 ounces of cheddar cheese, I'm sprinkling it evenly over the top. Sprinkling so that it comes to every part. I prepared the lasagna. I baked it in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until golden brown on top. As you can see, it browned beautifully. Layer by layer. It turned out incredibly delicious. You can trust me and try this recipe. I'm definitely looking forward to your valuable comments after you try the recipe. I'm slicing and serving it after it cools slightly. I've come to the end of another video and recipe. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Take good care of yourselves and your loved ones. See you in another recipe, another delicious creation. Goodbye. Take care.